Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Oh, man, the enthusiasm's on the front row right here. Yeah. I'm Laura Businger. I'm your host this evening, and we are delighted to be back at the Bascom Lamar Lunsford stage here in the Roger McGuire Green for Shindig on the Green. This is our 54th year. It's good to see all of these familiar faces out here, and I tell you, it was a rough year last year, but tonight you're going to get the tonic you need. You're going to get some great music, some great dancing, and best of all of our friends and family are here. So turn to the person next to you that you don't know and tell them howdy and say thanks for being here. Since 1974, did I say that right? I think that's right. Yes. Since 1974, the Stony Creek Boys have been our house band here at Shindig on the Green. You can see that the Stony Creek Boys have changed a little bit over the years because currently their fiddle player is the fabulous Rhiannon Ramsey, and Rhiannon was a student of our favorite fiddler, Arvil Freeman, and Arvil has put his fiddle and his bow up for a little while, but he brought along Rhiannon in the style that he has always played. I'm delighted to have Rhiannon, Boyd, Lawrence, and Georgie Banks. George wanted you to know that he was only 6 in 1974 when they started being the house band for Shindig on the Green. So we're going to let them stretch out a little bit here, and please make welcome Rhiannon and the Stony Creek Boys.
Yeah. Think I'll go across the ocean if I don't change my notion. I've just got to forget you if I can. Lord, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do before I'm head over heels in love with you. Lord, I'd like to be forgiven, but this life ain't worth living if I have to sit and worry over you. Lord, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do before I'm head over heels. All the nights long and dreary, all I do is sit weary. I just can't bear the thought of losing you. Lord, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do before I'm head over Lord, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do before I'm head over heels in love with you. Thank you. It was long, long ago in the moonlight. We were sitting on the banks of the stream when you whispered sweetly, I love you, as the waters murmured to me. Oh, they tell me love's like a flower in the springtime blossoms so fair, in the fall when it withers away, and tell me that's the way of it. morning, darling, we were talking of days gone by, when you told me you always loved me, that real love never died. Oh, they tell me love's like a flower, in the springtime blossoms so fair, in the fall when it withers away. They tell me that's the way of love. Every spring when you whispered these words, dear, the flowers were all blooming so fair. But today as the snow falls around us, I can see that your love is not there. Well, they tell me love's like a flower, springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, they tell me that's the way of love. Oh, they tell me love's like a flower, springtime blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, tell me that's the way of love. I ain't gonna work on the railroad, I ain't gonna work on the farm. Gonna wait around the shack till the bell trades, rolling the sweet babes on, rolling the sweet babes on, rolling the sweet babes on. Gonna wait around the shack till the bell trades, rolling the sweet babes on. Now where was you last Friday night while I was lying in jail, walking the streets with another man, waiting to go my way, rolling the sweet babes on, rolling the sweet babes on. I'll lay around the shack till the bell trades back, rolling the sweet babes on. On the railroad, ain't gonna work on the farm. Gonna lay around the shack till the bell trades, rolling the sweet babes on, rolling the sweet babes on, rolling the sweet babes on. Gonna lay around the shack till the bell trades, rolling the sweet babes on.
Can't count to 3 apparently. I thought they said they only did 2, but they did 3. Hey, isn't it great to be here? And isn't it great that people sponsor Shindig on the Green so it doesn't cost you anything? So quick shout out to our sponsors, Bill Hanson, Town Hardware, Mosaic Realty, Richard Hurley Music, right here, Pat Tavern, right there, Dr. Tim Gillespie, the Buncombe County Government, Allen's Jewelry and Pawn, and Finkelstein's. Who's lived in Asheville their whole life? Do you know, Kevin? Is it Finkelstein's or Finkelstein's? Finkelstein, thank you, you know, tell me. Finkelsteins, they've been here when Asheville was absolutely dead downtown. You knew you could go in there and look for a guitar. So we're delighted to have you here, and mostly we're delighted to have Richard Hurley. The song that kicks off our Shindig on the Green is an original tune by Richard, and we play it every week as it talks about some of our favorite folks, Bascom Lunsford and Leonard Hallfield, who we miss every time we open up this stage. So ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome this balladeer and songwriter, Richard Hurley.
Thank you, Laura. Let's give Laura a nice round in advance for the great evening. Wow, it's so good to see everybody. How many of you folks are from out of town visiting with us here? Oh, that's great. Thank you for coming to Asheville. Since you're from out of town, I want to just take about 30 seconds to tell you a little bit about this stage. This is called the Bascom Lamar Lunsford Stage. Now, Mr. Lunsford was born in 1842, lived 91 years, passed in 1973, born on the campus of what's now Mars Hill University. He was a ballad singer, he was a guitarist, banjo player. He's the one that's preserved our music, started the Folk Festival, which you'll hear more about later, the oldest folk festival in America, longest running folk festival. But anyway, Mr. Lunsford pinned out this little song I'm going to sing for you, and no matter where you're from, you've heard it. Now, some people call it white liquor. I'm a local boy. I call it white liquor. I call it moonshine. I call it Pertinin juice over in Haywood County. Some people call it Old Mountain Dew. And that's what Bascom Lamar Lunsford called it, was Old Mountain Dew. So join in here with me, let's do a little bit of Old Mountain Dew. Well, old brother Bill's got a still on the hill where it runs off a gallon or two. Well, the birds in the sky get so drunk they can't fly on that good old Mountain Dew. Everybody, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, 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 and them that refuse it are few. I'll go round the bend, but I'll come back again for that good old Mountain Dew. Well, my Uncle Mort, he sawed off and short, well, he measures about 4'2". But he thinks he's a giant when they give him a pint of that good old Mountain Dew. Everybody, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, 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 and them that refuse it are few. I'll go round the bend, but I'll come back again for that good old Mountain Dew. Well, my Auntie Jane tried a brand new perfume, well, that had such a sweet smelling pew. She was surprised they had it analyzed. It was that good old Mountain Dew. How'd you guess? They call it that good old Mountain Dew, 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 and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you'll fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. Well, the preacher came by with a tear in his eye. Well, he said that his wife had the flu. We told him he ought to give her a quart of that good old Mountain Dew. Hallelujah, everybody, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, 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 and them that refuse it are few. I'll go round the bend, but I'll come back again for that good old Mountain Dew. Thank you. Thank you very much. How many veterans do we have in the audience? All the vets, raise your hands. All the vets, raise those hands. Let's give these folks a nice round of applause for the service. Thank you so much. I'm an old Navy guy from back in the Nam era, and we certainly value what the military folks did for us. The reason I preface my song is because this song goes back into the 1800s and was written by a guy named Jimmy Driftwood. And he was an old middle school teacher, and he's trying to get the kids interested in American history, and they just wouldn't buy it. And he wrote all these verses, and a guy named Johnny Horton came along about 1958 or 60 and made a whole lot of money with this song. So here, let's do it with, well, 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. Took a little bacon and we took a little beans. Caught the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. Fired our guns and the British kept a-coming, and there wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We looked down the river and we seen the British come. Must have been 100 of them beating on the drum. Stepped so high and made the bugles ring. Stood beside our cotton bales and didn't say a thing. We fired our guns and the British kept a-coming, and there wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Old Hickory said we could take 'em by surprise. Yeah, we didn't fire a musket, still we looked 'em in the eye. Held our fire till we seen their faces swell. Opened up our squirrel guns and really came well. We, everybody, fired our guns and the British kept a-coming. Wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We fired our cannon till the barrel melted down, grabbed an alligator and we fought another round. Filled his head with a cannonball and powdered his behind. When we touched the powder off, the gator lost his mind. We, everybody, we fired our guns and the British kept a-coming. Wasn't as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, they ran through the briars and they ran through the brambles and they ran through the bushes where the rabbits couldn't go. Ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch them down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Hoop, toot, toot, ho, hoop, toot.